one other song that was good.
Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Today. Yes, Jim and Todd here, the Take a Listing Today podcast for show number 117.
Ooh.
117.
That's impressive.
Who else do we have here, Todd?
Well, over here in the luxury corner suite, our producer, Lisa Gray, in the house.
Wow.
I'm sitting today.
How'd she pull off a corner luxury suite?
I don't know.
With a chair at that.
I know.
Wow.
It's a rental. I have to get it back.
It's a rental.
Get it back in an hour.
All right, well, we'll have to make the show quick then. So thanks for joining us today for our show. How about this topic? It is wonderful. You got anybody out there with some jitters? Well, today's show is all about how to calm your clients' concerns about the current market. And so if you have a concern about that, we're going to talk all about that and tell you why you should not be concerned.
Exactly. There's some uncertainty out there, and in a world of uncertainty, we as people, as salespeople, as realtors, have to come from absolute certainty.
All right.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's why you are listening to this show right now. So, are we headed for another recession? Wow. Always nice to start out on a low note, Lisa. Great job there.
Yeah,
Well, we're
great
going
opening
to build everyone
Wow.
up. See, you're going to be feeling like $1 million by the end of this.
All right, so we've started as low as you can go, so it only goes up from here. All right. So, economists have weighed in that it won't be a faltering housing market that causes the possible 2022 or 2023 recession. Instead, if it happens, they expect it to be triggered by the Fed's efforts to curb it. Now, those efforts to get prices under control come with a risk. According to Matt Egan over at CNN, the central bank could end up doing too much, sinking the economy in the process.
So think about this as we're going through this topic, and it's all over the news. It's in people's minds all over the country. And think about when and if something is going to happen. This is out of our control. We can't control this big moving blob. We don't know what's going to happen in 2 years, but we can control one thing. We can look at this and say, here's what they need, and we tighten up our skill set, meaning your listing presentation, your prospecting, your overcoming objection. So those who need your services, you're right there to handle that. So that's where you have to come to the table with way more confidence, way more power than in the past because of what's happening.
Right, and we can't change anything like that. What happens. Our goal is to go in and make the best of whatever we have going.
Correct. And in any situation coming up, right, 2 rules. Keep your credit score as high as you can and stay in as much cash as you can, so if opportunity shows up, you can strike.
Right. Now, here's some good news for you. Economists point to the differences between the market in 2008 and today. Now, think back to the recession of 2008. In that housing bubble, economists agree, was caused by the easy access to mortgages. However, today's market is influenced by supply and demand. This time around, household finances are stronger and home values remain at historic highs. And that's according to Alcina Lloyd at BusinessInsider.com. So how does this knowledge calm your clients' nerves? According to the experts, there will be no housing bubble to explode in their face. Remind them that anyone with a heartbeat could get a mortgage prior to the recession of 2008. Today, lending rules are much more stringent, leading to far more qualified buyers looking for homes. And finally, not all recessions are like the recession of 2008, and a recession doesn't automatically equal a housing crisis.
Exactly. And just like when we talked earlier, one of my real estate colleagues down in Sarasota who just bought 6 months ago, and he and I were talking over dinner, and I'm like, okay, is this top of the market? What do you he's a real estate man. He has a team. And he goes, hey, it's what the market is. That's what the market's calling for right now. So he didn't even process it. He just said, go forward. That's what it is.
Right. We have to live in the present.
Right.
I mean, we can only count on what's going on right now. The media is so great. The news is so great now at just creating that fear, continuous fear.
Huge.
It's really been 3 years of market's going to shift. Interest rates are going to go up. We've heard it over and over and over again.
That's what creates viewership is fear.
Yep. And actually, when you think about, and we're going to talk about more about how that 2008 recession differed from what we have going on right now, which we are not clearly in a recession. But when you think about what was going on then at the lowest points with the foreclosures, the short sales, etc., were people still buying and selling homes? Yes, because things have to happen. You got to buy a home, you got to buy a home. You have to sell, you have to move, whatever it is, you got to do what you got to do. That's going to continue. So if you have sellers that are interested in selling but afraid, or buyers that are interested in buying or need to but are afraid, you've got to evoke your confidence in, we can make this happen. This is a no-brainer. It's got to be coming from you.
And really think about this. When somebody is going to sell a house or buy a house outside of an investor, that's one of their biggest purchases in life. So if they have fear and uncertainty, you have to come to the game with a relaxed sense of confidence and be so good at your game, you become their rock and help them through whatever their real estate situation
I mean, there were realtors in 2008 that were working, 8 months, 10 months on a short sale trying to get it to go through.
Oh, yeah, over a year and wasted a lot of time because they were new. The banks didn't know. The realtors didn't know. Exactly.
It was a crazy time. It was the Wild West. But they got business done. The ones that were excited and ambitious got business done, just like through COVID. What did we see happen at that time, that unusual time when people just went in their house and hid in a hole? Many others, agents, etc., got out there and said, I'll find a way. I'll hand out toilet paper. I remember one agent, he posted on Facebook. He was handing out toilet paper because there was a shortage. That was his way of getting out in front of people and saying, hey, I'm still here for you. You want to buy, you want to sell, let's do it. We can do it.
There were pictures of toilet paper on postcards.
Yes.
That were mailed out.
That was actually our most popular postcard at that time at ProspectsPLUS. It was the dog that had shredded up the toilet paper in the house.
Right.
I don't remember what the caption was. It was a funny one, though.
Yeah.
It
wasn't in the hilarious series. It was in the joke series.
Yeah, so. it was in the mediocre series.
Right. The hilarious series
I hear
is coming out next year.
With that, yeah.
That's going to be incredible when that comes out. So the jokes that don't make the hilarious series go into the
right.
Right. So it's kind of funny.
Well, here's the good news. The consensus from everybody is that homeowners have nothing to worry about. If a recession comes to pass, homeowners should write it out quite well. That was my bad. I didn't put a not in there. If a recession comes, homeowners should write it out quite well. They're also sitting on a ton of equity right now. Equity that isn't likely to dissipate during the forecasted recession. In fact, here's some great numbers for you. U.S. home equity reached $9.4 trillion in late 2021. The average mortgage holder started off 2022 with $178,000 in equity.
Nice.
In addition to those fun facts, did you know during the 5 recessions prior to the 2008 recession, home prices actually increased?
You know, that's a great sentence to just let sink in for anybody listening right now that has fear because they lived through the 2008 recession and what they saw happen to housing. Let that sink in. Write it out. Tape it up on your refrigerator. The last 5 recessions prior to that, home prices increased.
And
so 2008 was the only one where home values tanked.
And we know why.
Correct. I had a conversation last night with a handful of people, and we talked about this exact same thing. There was a young man. He was the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island in his 30s. So he now owns and runs a marina. That is insane. Condos. The owner of Walgreens brings their boat in for 3 months. And we got to chat with this guy, and guess what he said? He's doing incredible now. He goes, you know what? When 2007, 8, 9, 10, he goes, I used to drive by this thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make an at-bat. And he did his homework, did the paperwork. He goes, oh, was it terrible 2 years? I had banks crawling up my things happening. But he stayed in it, did not give up. So in a world of fear and uncertainty, the one that comes to the table with certainty and sees a vision like he did, now he's on top of the world because look at prices and all those condos, and the marina is incredible.
Wow. Well, that's pretty exciting. The other difference here is that the job market is explosive. Everybody has jobs who wants to work, which is different than in 2008.
Correct.
And that means that it's not going to impact home prices if a recession does happen to come around.
Right.
So another big difference there.
Absolutely.
So we have 3 factors that help us to see why the market should remain strong. Factor number 1, current inventory supply is short and demand is high. In 2008, the market was flooded with housing inventory. The construction industry was on fire, and there was a wave of foreclosures. Now, this combination of events led to home prices collapsing, obviously. In our current market, inventory is limited and buyer interest is strong. So complete opposite of what we had in 08. The second reason is now mortgage rates are still relatively low. Anybody remember what the rates were back in 2008? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to guess. So I know when I sold real estate, they were 7%. So think about 5% is still crazy low.
They were 6.
What were they?
Yeah.
They were 6, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, it was like 7.5 when I was doing real estate.
And that was normal, yeah. So you and I were
that was
about
a great
the same
deal.
time. It was. And nobody, that's what it was, right? You said it is what it is.
The 80s. Now, when was that? What years were you guys selling?
It was not the 80s.
No, I was going to say in the 80s, they were much higher. They were double digit in the 80s. And people still bought and sold homes.
My dad
you got to do what you got to do.
Homes in
Jimmy
79, 80, when rates were like 21%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine? But
did
people stop buying and selling? No, you got to do, that's what the market bear, and that's, you just deal with it.
Right.
And you keep moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now rates are 4.5, 5, 5.5, whatever.
Yep.
Still good rates compared to 08.
Absolutely.
And since 08, mortgage rates have continued to come down. In the last 3 years, we've seen unusually low rates, allowing buyers to pay down their mortgages and build more equity, which you didn't have in 08. The third reason is that banks have tightened their lending standards in the years following the last recession. Back in 08, many people who couldn't afford a mortgage were able to get one, basically by having a heartbeat. And that led to a lot of foreclosures.
Yep.
In our current market, lending standards have been high. Therefore, we don't have unqualified buyers sitting on mortgages that they can't afford and will inevitably foreclose.
That's very true. They tighten the screws on that. So people that are getting mortgages, it is legit. And it's risk and reward, right? They're going to get their money because if something happens, they'll get it back.
Right. So what's the summary of all this? If we listen to the experts, your clients have nothing to worry about when it comes to the real estate market. Don't let them buy into the media hype, and you'll keep them in the market and get them into a house.
Get them into a house. And remember, in a world of uncertainty, come from absolute certainty with your real estate game when you show up every day to play. Prospecting, presentation, close, efficiency. You know what to do.
That was very nice, Lisa.
Right. Well, nice
show. I mean, it started out kind of depressing, but it turned around.
You should feel like Superman now. And if you're still unsure of how to handle this, first of all, if you made it through the pandemic as a realtor, hey, come on, man. You know how to do this. Piece of cake, right? What you've been through was so difficult. This is a piece of cake no matter where we head right now. But if you didn't, let's say you started after, you're brand new to the industry, find somebody in your office that's been through either 08 or through the pandemic and get some ideas from them. What talk tracks they use? How did they handle when things got a little iffy? How'd they stay in the right mindset? I don't care if you have to get up and put on some inspirational stuff on YouTube or motivational stuff on. Boy, it's limitless. You want to go watch. Do you ever see those on YouTube? There's these motivational videos. You can find them. It might be Denzel Washington talking or whoever it is, and it's just all these great speeches. They'll tape them back to back to back, and put them together into a video, and you can watch this stuff. By the time you're done, you are just ready to do anything. If you've got to get up in the morning and do that to get the right mind frame to get out there and really get people believing in, yes, we can do this together. Let's get in the market. Everything is great. We're not worrying about the future. Whatever you have to do to get in the right mindset. Right,
and we know what the top people are doing because we pull it up every Tuesday. They're spending money on marketing. They're out there prospecting.
Absolutely.
They're getting referrals.
More than ever.
They're putting their foot on the gas knowing that, hey, other people have fear and uncertainty. So exactly, they've been through it before, so their mindset is strong.
As a marketing company, we do have a unique perspective because we saw the agents marketing and in mass. We're talking, 5-6 figures coming through the company as customers, marketing throughout the whole pandemic, and we've only seen it go up and up and up and up, and to crazy numbers of revenue and marketing happening.
So digest this show, go back through it again if you have to, and remember our whole objective, and you could take 1 or 2 or 5 things out of here, our whole objective is to help you listen, watch, and go out and take a listing today.
Just skip the first 2 minutes of the show today because it's very depressing. After that, it was on fire.
Right.
Well, if you've made it this far,
if you're still with us,
you might be able to share us in celebrating a winner. Look at this. We have a brick of postcards provided by our friends at ProspectsPLUS.com.
Let's give out some money today, shall we?
That sounds wonderful. Let me break the seal.
There's a seal.
Break the seal of the postcard.
The seal of the rubber band.
Very professional.
The rubber bands.
Shall I pick a random one in
Pick
here?
a random card, please.
And this person is going to win what, Lisa?
A $100 gift card on Prospects Plus for anything on the site.
Wow.
Let's see what it is. I want to see what one they sent out. Ooh, that's from the Get More Listing 2 series.
Oh.
I have a buyer. That's a great card. That gets purchased a lot.
I have a buyer.
That specific card.
And we have Dan and Jen on the back. Husband and wife, partners.
One of them will
brother
answer.
and sister. Could you pass that? Why not?
Well, she looks like she's piggyback riding on his back.
I'm not gonna judge people.
See, she saved
you
it
never
until
did
this
that with
portion.
your brother or sister?
No, as an adult.
That's an adult.
Okay, well.
She grew up in Wisconsin.
All right.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of farmland and animals and so forth, but we kept it.
You rode the donkeys in the field, not the.
clean.
Oh. I should have wrote their name down.
Dan and Jen, I'm going to hand it back to you. Spurlock.
Well, you're making a large assumption that they're going to answer the phone here.
I think they will.
We'll see.
But is it going to be Jen or
This is Dan.
I'm going to say it's Dan.
Dan, how are you, sir?
Good.
Dan, you are talking with Jim and Todd and Lisa on the Take a Listing Today podcast. We're calling on behalf of Prospects Plus because they gave us a postcard that you're sending out that says, I have a buyer on it.
We do sell a ton of these. What made you guys go this direction? Because it looks like you guys are doing great marketing out there.
Just a way to keep in touch with people, just to check on if they're thinking about selling a home. So we don't do a lot of mailers. We haven't over the years, and we've always wanted to start doing that as kind of an arm of our marketing. And so, I don't know why I particularly chose that one, but we like to keep in touch with people that have signed up online on our website, thinking about selling their home or wanting a home evaluation. We don't just randomly send them to, neighborhoods. We actually send them to people that we already have in our database.
Is this your first mailing, Dan, or have you done a few of these already?
That would be our first. We've been doing it, though, for the last few months, that same mailer.
All right.
Okay.
Is your office near a forest? I'm hearing birds in the background.
Oh, he's driving a convertible. He's having lunch in his convertible Bentley, probably.
I am taking a break outside, and so I'm outside for a bit.
Good for you.
Sounds like a beautiful day.
Yeah, good for you.
All right, nice weather.
Actually, pouring rain, but that's okay.
Oh man, the birds are still singing.
Yeah, the birds are happy still.
Yeah, they come around. So.
Well, all right. Well, awesome, Dan. Well, as Todd mentioned, we would love to give you the chance to win a gift card for ProspectsPlus.com, so that way you can do postcard mailings a little more often. How's that sound?
All right, what do I got to do?
All right, we're going to ask you a question. All you have to do is get the question right. Jim Studebaker comes up with this. Put your thinking cap on.
The last person who said, what do I have to do, regretted that question. So, Dan, I'm going to read you a question and 3 possible answers, and all you need to do is tell me what is the correct answer. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Here's your question, Dan. How many hearts does an octopus have? Is it 1, 3, or 5?
Wow.
You didn't see that one coming.
I wish I could have an extra one,
I
like
know,
a kidney.
That's so random.
Dan, I'm not sure how we came up with that. I'm not even sure that's a fair question, Dan.
You expected a real estate question, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
33% chance for $100. 33% chance. Give them the options again.
1, 3, or 5?
I just have to go with the obvious one.
Okay. So, octopus has 1 heart. Is that correct?
Oh, Dan. Well, that was not even a fair question. What was the answer?
The correct answer is 3.
Wow.
Let's give him another try. He took our call on break. And that question, I don't know if Lisa came up with that or what. But.
Well, that's nice. I mean, if you got a heart issue, you still got...
There's no way anybody knows that.
Correct. Going on there.
Really knows
I wonder
that.
if it needs all 3. Like, could it do like a heart transplant for a family member if one needed one? Or?
Well, I don't know. That's a great question. Could you do some research into that, Lisa?
Yes.
Let us know.
All right. Here's the real question. You should get this one, and we're going to take great care of you. Okay.
All right, Dan. How is your knowledge of chemistry?
Oh no. I know what mine's
good,
like.
Go ahead.
Oh man.
All right. Here we go, Dan. K is the chemical symbol of what element? Is it krypton, potassium, or lithium?
Potassium.
That's what I was going to say.
You answered awfully quick there. Is K the symbol for potassium?
He was probably a chemist in the past or a pharmacist. Oh, Dan!
Yeah.
You know what?
You thought you didn't know chemistry, but you really do. Todd, what does Dan win today?
Dan, we're taking extra good care of you. Believe it or not, you not only win a $100 gift card, good for anything on the Prospects Plus website, you get some swag from our show, so you know who we are next time. Take a listing today. You get 2 coffee mugs, a shirt, and a signed book. Take a listing today. So we're going to take care of you, all right?
All right, sounds like a plan.
Keep up the great work out there. Keep up the great work and keep your foot on the gas. You guys are doing great.
Oh, Dan,
I
Lisa.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Lisa's going to email you, so be ready for that. Look forward to it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right. He was a little apprehensive at first. But
he might have been half asleep, but we woke him up a little bit.
Well,
Really? Wait a minute.
the birds singing in the background, the rain. Yeah,
He was doing a meditation. He was somewhere. Yeah.
Hey,
We
he's
brought
going to
him.
be even stronger after that power nap, right?
Correct.
Right. And he's excited now that he won $100.
Yes.
He's never going to forget that octopuses have 3 hearts. Is that the correct term, octopuses? Or I'm the fact feeling it's like octopi might be the right one.
I don't know.
Lisa, looking at that one as well, will you?
That's
Okay,
another
we're
question.
going to have a lot of stuff for you next week. Well, thank you for joining us, and don't forget our sponsors website, ProspectsPLUS.com. They have the wonderful I Have Buyers postcard and a lot more on there for you to market to. So thank you for joining us, and of course, we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.